This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, fine. Um, I'm just sharing my screen. You guys let me know whether it is sharing or not. Yeah, is my screen sharing?
Yes, oh yeah.
Okay, fine. So, yeah, I'm Bhavya. I'll be your SQL trainer for the next 45 hours. Okay, which means more than 45 days. Um, so in this course, we are learning, the content which I have already shared you in the group. Okay, maybe you guys gone through it, and no worries if you didn't go through it. Okay. Of course, the people who are new and they're started to learn this SQL, they might don't know what will be the content and like what will be the advanced one and the basic one. But the people who are working already, they might have an idea. Okay, I'm not talking about the complete idea, but somehow they might have. Okay, so I request you to go through the content that I have shared in the group and let me know if anything to be added. Okay, like you might feel like this will be nice if you have if we have this topic in the course, something like that. Lead code questions. Okay, this is also be included from this time. Lead code questions. Okay, so so do that. And first and foremost, my humble request is that I want just one by one, just tell your expectations from this course, and like whether you are new to this one or you have some idea or what. Okay, because I have some idea that from where I can start and how depth I can go and teach. Okay, just in order to um change something in my teaching, I'm just asking this question. So yeah, please go ahead, like what are the expectations you have and everything, one by one, please.
Hey, hi Bhavya. This is Smriti.
Hi.
Actually, I just want to. I'm very new to the sequel. Okay, I really
Okay.
don't know the coding part or something. But with respect to my current projects, whatever am I handling, have any requires a little bit of SQL in depth where I need to write the codes to fetch the details from the database and everything. So that
Okay.
will help me a lot if I can learn in depth of all the things.
Okay. And
I want to be a
yes, feel
pro.
free to talk. Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
sure. End of the day, that will be sure.
yeah, sure. That's it, Bhavya, from my end. Thank you.
Okay. And the remaining?
Hi Bhavya, this is Raman Akka. I came
Okay,
from the
hi.
I came from the Channa reference basically. I have
Okay.
little bit idea about that sequel, but I like to brush up the things and learn more, and that's what I came here for the hearing the session.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay from the hearing from the basic actually. Yeah, from the
Okay,
scratch.
fine.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
Yes. Welcome. And any other? Yeah. So personally, some of the people contacted me and they need from the basic. Okay. So some people like new to this uh, IT one, which means pure coding and SQL, something like that. So they want from the basic. Okay, so these might like you guys are having these expectations, right? And I request those who are like unable to join the session, maybe you'll be listening this recording, right? So just post your expectations in the group or else in the personally WhatsApp chat. Okay, so I'll include that. And one more thing, these all are your expectations, right? So I also have few expectations from my end. Okay, I'll be starting the course from the basic. Okay, which means from what is data, so till the data engineering part. Okay, from basic to the data engineering thing, I'm going to discuss it in the class. Along with that, I'm going to give some assignments. Okay, so whether you know that or not, it's a secondary thing, but I request you to complete those assignments, okay, in time. Okay, maybe if I give today, it's okay if you complete it today, or else maybe you're busy with some other thing, complete it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So that's my first request. And the next one is maintain consistency for the class. Okay, see, somehow today you will not listen the class, I mean you will not attend the class, and you will not listen to the recording, and tomorrow you're joining, I'm sure tomorrow you'll doesn't understand anything from the class. Okay, see, SQL is like a alphabets. If you don't understand alphabets, you will not frame a sentence. If you don't understand SQL, you will not understand cloud data warehousing, which is a Snowflake, and you will not understand something Power BI, Databricks, some big tool, something like that. So maintain consistency and do the assignments regularly. So these are the only two things from my end. Apart from that, nothing. Okay, and you can feel free to ask any kind of doubt at any point of time. Okay, so these are the things actually I'm focusing now. As mentioned, before giving about before understanding about SQL, I would like to tell you about data. See, if you know about data, it's quite easy to move fast. If you don't know, then I'll take a time to explain it. So that's as simple as that our classes will go. Okay, now I'm just moving directly into the concept, which is a basic one. The moment you see, some people may come into this field just because someone tells in the future data will rule the data analytics or data science or something like that will rule the world. Maybe you might heard that one, and that's why you started learning SQL. That might be a question, right? So my first question to you is, what is data and why we need to learn SQL? What is the connection between data and SQL? So this is the first question I'm just putting you guys. Yes, so can you tell me in your words what do you mean by data? It's okay, what might be the answer?
It's a set of information, or
Okay, so information about.
for example, if you take any like school roll numbers and everything, right? The students and as well as the roll numbers and as well as the what all the things, the addresses and everything. This is the kind of data. This is an example I'm just giving. It's a vague, I
Yes,
know,
yes,
but
fine. Yeah. So yeah, so that is also a data. Fine. Okay, I will tell you one thing. Actually, in my view, data means, as you mentioned, information. So information about any object is nothing but a data. You're collecting the information about any object, that is nothing but a data. Fine. Now, Bhavya, what do you mean by object? Only laptop is an object? Only table is an object? Can I consider humans as an object? Yes. See, the definition of object is anything that have existence in this world, in this universe, in this whole planet, galaxy, everywhere. Anything that have existence is nothing but an object. Okay, so the moment like what is data comes into our mind, the collection of information about any object is nothing but a data. We will understand in deep about it, but before that, Google has given me some definition. Okay, we will try to understand that first, and later we will understand our own definition. See, the collection of facts and figures that are used for analysis or survey. And the next point is data is a distinct piece of information that is gathered and translated for some purpose. Yes, Google is too intelligent, that is why it has given the definition which we can't understand. See, as it mentioned, finally it is telling about the information about an object, correct? So, I am telling you that any object, let us assume a laptop, the height of a laptop, width of a laptop, and the features of a laptop, all those are the information. Let's take Bhavya as an example. Height of a Bhavya, color of a Bhavya, studies, I mean qualification of a Bhavya, everything is an information. Let's take Earth as an example. Okay, so how many people are living in this Earth is a data. So what kind of temperature Earth is maintaining is a data. See, Earth is a planet, right? Earth is also an object. Let's take beyond the Earth, which is moon, sun, and everything. So sun is hot. So in the morning it will be in orange color. So that is also an information. So anything, the collection of information about any object is nothing but a data. Okay, and from our childhood onwards, we are having a data. Agree? Bhavya, only from our childhood? No. From our ancestors, their ancestors, and their ancestors, we are having a data. But people in 1960 or 1940s, they realized we need to maintain some data. And they understood what exactly the term data mean. So after that, the people started collecting the data, maintaining here or the somewhere, and after many years, somehow SQL ruling the world now. But before that, I just want to ask you a question. You remembered your childhood things, right? Or else you remembered your house address, or else office address, or you remembered your family members. So how do you remember that? Did you write somewhere, like this is my house address, this is my office address, and these are my family members? Did you remember something like that? Of course no, right? See, if you see some people, we automatically recognizes that people. How we recognize? Through our brain, right? So what our brain do? It will store the information. Hence, our brain is a database. It is storing the data. That's why it is a database. Our brain is a super duper database. Think about it. Okay, fine. Understood about a data, but like how many kinds of data we have? Do we have any types about related to data? Yes, we have. Mainly two types of things. One is qualitative and another one is quantitative. See, the name itself is telling one is talking about quality, another one is talking about quantity, right? The name itself it is suggesting that. See, which cannot be measurable, those things are nothing but a qualitative data. Which can be measurable, those are nothing but a quantitative data. See, don't keep a question mark, okay, kind of thing, because no need of remembering all those things, but just have an idea. It's a general topic, okay. See, qualitative is nothing but you smell something. Can you tell me how much you smell that? See, if I ask you how it smells, you may tell that, Bhavya, it's so strong, or else it's so light, something like that. Can you measure it? No, right? Now, somehow you heard something. Okay, you heard some voice. Can you tell me, like how you heard that one? Like how much you heard that? No, right? You may tell that it's too loud, it's too low, something like that. So these all things comes under a qualitative data, which is not in a structured format. Bhavya, what do you mean by structured? A new term. I will tell you about that. See, all the non-numerical data and all the descriptive data comes under qualitative data. Okay, and of course we are not dealing with that data much. Of course we are not dealing with that data, but we are nowadays we are dealing with this quantitative data. Before that, I'll just give you an example of qualitative. See, I mean, you're seeing a table here, right? I mean, a shelf or something like that. See, it is made up of wood. It was built in Italy, and it's a deep brown, golden knobs, something like that. See, golden knobs is fine, but we can't measure it's a golden thing. I mean, golden knobs, right? So you can tell that, Bhavya, I will take scale and I will measure with the scale how long it is. But it's again a height of a knob there. Okay, see, whatever we are seeing, whatever we are feeling, that is nothing but a qualitative data. Whatever we can measure, that is a quantitative data. Try to understand the difference. But why this comes into the picture, I will tell you by the end of this PPT. See, quantity means, of course, we are able to measure something. So, how many tables, I mean, how many laptops are there in it on a table means you will count those laptops and you will tell maybe if 10 laptops are there on the table. So, 10 is a quantity. Hence, it is a quantity data, quantitative data. So, Bhavya, tell me how quantitative data will be in the nature, like how it will be in the material world. It's a structured one, and it's a statistical one. See, statistical one means it can be calculated. See, statistical information means you can calculate that information. See, it's a structured one and it's a statistical one. So Bhavya, what is meant by structured? See, anything that was in the form of table is nothing but a structured one. Bhavya, okay, I will somehow I will maintain the data like this. Okay, it's in a paragraph, right? Something like that, in a points or something like that. So I'm calling it is also quantitative data, but you told me that it's a structured one which is in the form of table, but here it is not in the form of table. But how can we tell it's a structured one? See, this information also you can maintain in the structure, correct? Take one, take columns. See, table means what? It is in the form of rows and columns, right? So take one column as a height, one column as a weight, and a quantity of a book, and number of shelves, number of cabinets, and the amount of the table. You can take that as a table, and you can maintain the records. Records means rows. In that, perspective, I told it's a structured one. Yeah, quantitative data might be in the form of tests, might be in the form of experiments, something like that. Now tell me, you understood about quantitative data and qualitative data, right? So which is very easy to understand, and which can be more, which kind of data can be more? Qualitative data is more or quantitative data is more? Yes, just a guess.
Quantitative data is more.
Quantitative.
Quantitative data is more.
Yes, perfect. See, why quantitative data is more? See, see, ultimately, what we guys will do about, with this data, nothing for, better business analysis. Okay, for better business analysis, we usually track this data. So, of course, as mentioned, quantitative data is best for the analysis. But why it is best? So just read this one. I mentioned it's a structured one, and that structured data can be quickly organized and quickly retrievable. Okay, and that too, it is in the form of tables. So huge data are coming these days, and that huge data was also a quantitative data, hence it is a structured data. That structured data, we are maintaining it in a relational database. Okay, points to be noted is, one is structured data. So structured data means it is in the form of table, hence those tables we are maintaining in a relational database. This is the ultimate thing I just want to convey. Fine, but what is relational database? Correct, a question. So before before going to a relational database, one best example I have given before starting this PPT. So what is the natural database which we have in our body?
It's a
Brain,
brain.
right? Obviously. Yes, correct. It's a brain. So, my question to you is, before a relational database or any other kind of databases, how data is stored? How, like, generally, how data is stored?
Be in Excel or something. I'm sorry if it's
Sorry?
wrong. Excel.
Okay, fine, fine. So, before Excel? Any idea?
It's on papers or something.
Exactly. Exactly. See, before all these databases and all, people started storing the data in the form of papers. Earlierly, it was in the form of leaves. Okay, on the leaves, they will write something and they will keep for years and years. But after many years, it will vanish. Later, they realized and they started storing that in a paper. So, after that, it got vanished. We have a laptops from then. We started storing the data in the form of words or files or excels, and that also vanished, and now it is in the form of databases. And tell me one thing, what happens if you store like why people are shifted to this databases, why they are not maintaining the data in the form of papers, leaves or files or excels, why they shifted to this database?
Maybe like it's a huge volume or something. The one and another one, if at all if any changes are coming on that particular paper, we need to maintain multiple papers and getting attached, and maybe chances of missing.
Yes, correct. Yes.
Easy
So
to store and
after,
easy to access.
perfect. This is also good. So, yeah, one is like easy to access means you are in terms of database, right? And so, yes, by taking all these points, I would like to add few more here. See, if I store the data in the form of papers, one or the other day the people, some people, okay, let us assume some xyz people may corrupt my data. See, I will store some data in the form of book and I will leave the room. Maybe some people will come and they will erase that data. Loss of data, one thing, and security is not found there. See, I need to hire a person to secure my data, and that person should be we should trust that person too much. Then only we will keep that data with him or her. So first one is loss of data if we store data in a files or papers or something like that. Okay, you might have a doubt, Bhavya, we will lock our systems and we will go. Who knows, maybe they will see it, maybe they'll track it. Somehow let us assume only with the papers. After that we will move on to the system one, maybe in the form of books and all. So there loss of data, no security for it. I have to hire a person, I need to pay more for the person. Three disadvantages. Along with that, as you mentioned, data redundancy, which means today I just maintained three records in a, I mean, three persons' data in a book, and tomorrow, of course, after 1 month, it's true that I will forgot like how many people, whose data I just mentioned in that book, and again I will start mentioning about that person in the book. So, which is nothing but a duplicate. In technical terms, we call it as a redundancy. After that, see, these are the four main disadvantages. See, if database achieves these disadvantages and keep database as these four as an advantage, then we will go for database. See, uh, ultimate thing is if here we find some disadvantages, obviously we will move on to the another one which is an advantage, right? Which these disadvantages are converted into advantages, then we will obviously move on to that. That is what a database will do. True. So before understand, before understanding about this relational database, let us try to understand from where this relational database comes into picture. Okay. um Before understanding that, I would like to give an example here. Building, right? Building, normal building. Okay. Building means, let us assume it's an apartment. Okay. For an apartment which is of 20 stairs or something like that, we will have one management to maintain that apartment, right? Similar kind of thing here. To maintain our databases, I mean the tables that we are maintaining in the database, we have one management system which is nothing but a DBMS. See, it's not a hardware, it's just a software. Okay. So it's just a management. If you follow the rules and regulations of a manager or a management, obviously you can do whatever you want. Okay. So let us try to understand what this management will do, and what are all its properties and rules we have. See, a database management system is a software system that is designed to manage and organize data in a structured manner. So which manner? Structured manner. Structured data means what? Quantitative data. Okay. So see, quantitative, the moment I say quantitative data, so don't think about the table. Okay, people are getting confused that maybe in the form of tables. No, just remember it's a quantitative data. So to manage that data, we have one manager called this one. So manager means it's management, DBMS. So what it will do? So what are all the needs we have? Like we understood, right? Security issues, redundancy issues, and retrieval issues. Like, see, as you mentioned, if you want to see, retrieve means a fetching of the data, like getting the data, querying the data. Okay. See, let us assume I want 10th person details. What I have to do? I should go and search where is the 10th person in the notebook, which will take 10 minutes of time for me. If I want 1000th person data, no doubt at all, it will take half day. So that, in order to avoid that, we are going for something better. That something better is nothing but a database, and that database management is nothing but a DBMS. So this DBMS will give all those advantages, like querying the data, security, reducing redundancy. These are all advantages here. So if you follow all those things, tomorrow you also introduce one new database. Who says no? So yes, now I am thinking to introduce one database. Okay, so tomorrow to the market, I just thinking, I started thinking to introduce one beautiful database, just like relational database. Okay, why DBMS? We understood, right? So all these purpose. Actually, it's a question for you. Let us try to understand the advantages of database. Okay, as I mentioned, disadvantages should be the advantages if you are moving to the another one. Correct? Agree? Yes. See here, controls data redundancy. So what is meant by data redundancy? Duplication. It's a duplicate. See, duplicate means what? A Xerox copy. Yes, DBMS will not allow, can we take doesn't allow, or can we take prevent, or can we take it controls? Yes, it controls actually. It will not prevent it, but it will control. Okay, some by using some security and all, we can control that. And privacy, of course, any DBMS will always ask you for authentication, and I will show you in our database now. Not now, in the future classes. This privacy and this data security both are same actually. See, so if you are not authenticating, which means you are not allowing into the database, of course your data is secured. See, let's say, of course, we'll do some projects in the real time, or else we will have something in our hands. So, let us take a basic example. We will lock our home, right? Until unless you open your lock, no one should enter into your home. As simple as that. See, unless your what your database is opened, you cannot and see the data inside it. Somehow that is an advantage. And integrity means what? Honesty. See, let's say, um, you logged your home, and inside the home you have some things. Okay, you you will not open the home, and the things which are there inside the home will be like that only. What if you didn't lock the home? Maybe there is a chance of losing some items from the home. Okay, maybe replacing of some items from the home, in the home, I mean, inside the home. Replace may happen, or you may lose it. Honesty is lost in the books and everywhere, like if you maintain the data there. But here that will not possible, because of this security we will not lose any data, no replaces of data. So integrity means it's a honesty, a perfect data. See, today I entered Bhavya with the salary 2000. Tomorrow also it will be Bhavya with the salary 2000. Until unless I open my database and I change it, no changes will be happen to my data. Note, I only have you know what, access to my database. That's a thing. Of course, backup and recovery, we will be having that. Sharing of data is possible, and the data consistency is nothing but a steadiness of a data. Okay, see, if you close and open your database, I mean, records should be same. That database will be maintaining, as discussed, right? Data integrity, some loss or some replaces and all. So that is nothing but a data consistency. It will not lose any data, and until unless you remove it. Okay, so that consist, I will tell you about this consistency in detail about these properties while discussing about properties. See, these are the advantages of database. See, every database, I'm not talking about only relational database. No, every database, we have types actually. So in all those types, we are having these advantages. Okay, so before looking at the types, we will understand about a most important thing, acid properties. Actually, previously I don't include this slide in the batch, but from past two batches I'm just including this one. You know why? People started asking about acid properties. I mean, you might come across it, or else uh, just remember acid property. It's very, 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 very important. You can keep 10 starts over there. Okay, so I will help you to understand these acid properties. Okay, and just remember about its most important thing. See, out of all those, like what are the things that we have discussed so far, out of all those, acid properties are very important. Now, so Bhavya, what is meant by acid properties? As I mentioned, tomorrow I want to introduce relational, something kind of a database, which is like relational database. So if tomorrow I want to introduce a new database, I must follow all these properties. Then only I can release my database into the market. Getting? So properties are more important to release new database into market. Not only new, not only the new, but the existing one also, they should follow these all things. So let us try to understand about atomicity first. A stands for atomicity, C stands for consistency, I stands for isolation, D stands for durability. Okay, so atomicity is nothing but, see, some definition we saw here. An entire transaction takes place at once or doesn't happen at all. See, the moment I read this one, in my mind I have one example. I will try to tell you that. Let's say I went to the ATM. Okay, you insert the card into the ATM. What you will get? Either money or your transaction got cancelled. Only these two, right? Either transactions should takes place or it should not happen at all. That is nothing but an atomicity. Okay, transaction means what? Either you should get a money once you insert your card into the ATM. See, after entering pin and amount only, I'm talking. So whether it should generate the amount or else it should not generate at all. It should cancel the things, completely. Only these two things. Money will not stuck in between the ATM machine. If it happens, it's a technical issue. I mean, it's a ATM issue. Okay. Of course, it will not actually. It will not stuck in between. Either money should come out or it should not happen at all. Only these two things should happen. That's how ATM also made. Similarly, database also like that. If you are okay, I will tell you about this transaction term, about in terms of SQL, not now but in further classes. But for now, remember this ATM example. Okay, that atomicity should maintain. Now, consistency. So consistency means, okay, take the same example, ATM. Okay, um in my account I have 3000 rupees. Okay, so from that 3000 rupees I just withdrawn 1000 rupees. Now in my account only 2000 it should show. Correct? That is nothing but a consistency, which means steadiness. See, before withdrawing the money I have 3000 rupees. After withdrawing the money, it should display only 2000 rupees if I go and search in the account. See, before and after the transaction, the data should be same. See, same means after withdrawing, you will not be have the same 3000 in your account, right? No. So what you can do is, before transaction it is 3000. After transaction, it is also 3000. How? 2000 is inside the account and one is withdrawal. Total 3000. So 3000 equal to 3000. So that consistency your database should maintain. Now I am telling you in terms of ATM. Once I enter into SQL, I will try to explain this thing with a real time one. Okay, real examples. Isolation. The moment I remember isolation, I mean, the moment I listen to this isolation, the only one thing that comes in my mind is isolation words. COVID time. What they will do at that time? They will send people to some isolation rooms. Correct? Similarly, here also. Again, go to ATM. Okay. This time, we will use our phone pay, GPA, and ATM also. Okay, so you are withdrawing 2000 rupees from your account by using card. Okay, that is one thing. Another one is, at the same time you are using your phone pay and transferring some amount to some other person. Your ATM transaction will not affect your Google Pay transaction. Your ATM transaction is independent to this Google Pay transaction. It will not interfere in between. See, though you are transacting from the same account, no interference will happen. Those all are independent. That is why database is still running. See, let's take general example, guys. Um, General example, what we can take is, let's take Amazon. Okay, uh, you are scrolling Amazon. I mean, you are searching for one item, even I'm searching for one item, and some other people are searching for one item. Okay, the same application. Do you have some other Amazon application separately? Do I have some other Amazon application separately? No, the same Amazon application. So you're scrolling and you're adding the items to your cart. Can I see your items in my cart? Can you see my items in your cart? No, right? Your account is, I mean, your thing is separate. My account is separate. Some other people account is separate. But ultimately, we are dealing with only one application, right? So our transactions, even though our transactions are multiple, but those are independent. They will not interfere in between other transactions. Similarly, database also. See, I'm telling you, right? I promise you, I will show all these practically. Practically, I will show you. Okay, and the last one is durability. So, which means, see, even if your system fails, okay, you will not, end up with any uh, misplaced transaction or something like that. See, um, like I'm withdrawing some amount, okay, or else you are sending money through phone pay, and due to some technical issue it got failed. So what happens? Or else suddenly you press the back button, what happens? Payment fails, but the transaction is successful. How? Even though payment failed, your amount will be in your account only. Okay, if the payment is successful, you has to pay that person, so it went. So that durability was there, it will not stuck in between. So that's a durability it will give. Durability is something, a kind of security. Okay, yeah. So this is all about the acid properties, which is very important, and these things we will try to understand in the SQL point of view also. So now we understood about only a normal example. Okay. In further classes we need to understand about transaction, what is meant by transaction. Okay, very important word actually. Okay, so I'll just take 5 minutes more from this. It's going to be end at 9, right? So I'll just end this class at 9:05. Please cooperate because I will finish this one, because it's a basic one, right? I don't want to take much time. So yeah, so let's have one. small story here. So types of database management system. Yes, I mentioned we have many types: hierarchical DBMS, network database management system, relational model, and object oriented. Okay, so out of all those things, we are using relational model. So by the way, tell me, okay, I'll ask this question end of this class. So let us try to understand about hierarchical one. So the moment I say hierarchy, what comes to your mind generally? Hierarchy, right? So level 1, level 2, level 3, something like that. Here also the same: vehicle, two wheeler, four wheeler, and out of two wheeler we have bike and scooter. In the four wheeler we have car, tractor, and minibus, something like that. So here vehicle is a parent, two wheeler and four wheeler is a child levels, and here two wheeler is a parent for bike and scooter, four wheeler is a parent for car, tractor, and minibus. So the data is maintaining some parent and child relationship. So retrieval is somehow slow here. So in 1940s, they maintain this hierarchical database management system. So in the form of files actually. It's not in the form of tables, but in the form of files. So of course, if it is in the form of files, data will be low, right? I mean, retrieval of data is low, right? Retrieval means what? Fetching means what? Getting the data from the file, or else reading the data from file. Guys, please habituate the words retrieval and fetching. Okay. Now, or else querying. So querying the data is very difficult if we have it in the form of files, right? So that is why hierarchical DBMS got failed. Bhavi, why it failed? I will tell you. So before that, I just want to ask you one question. This hierarchical database will give the same acid properties. Does it maintain these acid properties? Does this type have advantages of DBMS? Yes. Answer is yes. Don't get confused. Okay. Every DBMS will give these advantages and will follow these acid properties. Everything, every database. See, we have four here. All these four will follow these advantages and acid properties. No worries in that. But Bhavya, why it got failed? Because of retrieval. See, those days we have small amount of data, right? Hardly in a month you will have uh, 5,000 records or something like that. But nowadays, n- okay, forget about nowadays. In 1960 only, in a day you are getting 5,000 data, 5,000 records of data, which is very huge at that time in a day. Somehow, networkal data comes into the picture. Here also the same issue. Here also the same issue. See, networkal data also followed the advantages of DBMS, and it is also maintaining the acid properties. So that's why it is in the market. Even though networkal database comes into the picture, it is unable to handle few data. Of course, retrieval is slow. See, if I want to fetch the director details, I should go to college, I should go to department 2, and I should go to the director for department 2. See, ultimately, these three are only one director for all these three departments. So I should travel, I should maintain some hierarchy. Sorry, I should maintain some connection, network. Because of that retrieval, slow fetching of the data is slow, and maintaining of the data is also slow. See, I want to maintain director details, so that I need to maintain department details and I need to maintain college details also, right? I can't just simply delete all those things. Because of that, networkal database management system got failed, and after 1960, relational database management system comes into the picture. This came into the picture, and till 2020-24, 10/2, it's October 2nd, right? So till the date, this relational database management system is ruling the world. I'm not talking about India, I'm not talking about America, I'm talking about the whole world. You might heard, right? Like nowadays, Databricks, Snowflake, many things like that comes into the picture and giving a very quality of analysis, quality of warehousing and all, just because of relational only. Okay, from rest of our classes we are talking about this relational database management system only. But before that, I just want to tell about object oriented DBMS. So it's completely a programming one. Okay, it's completely a programming one. So like Python and some other programming languages we have, right? So that programming languages we take, like these, they use this object oriented DBMS and they will do some things. uh, like transport is a main key, which means transport is a first class, and we have some subclasses here. In the main class we will maintain some methods, like speed and fare price. For this is same, right? See, here you have speed, here you have speed, here also you have speed, here also the fare you have, here also we have, here also fare. So somehow if we want to understand this one, we need to understand programming language. So just keep aside, no worries in that if you don't understand also. Okay, like out of curiosity you can explore in the Google, you'll find a lot of information about it. Okay, but now onwards we are dealing with the huge amount of data. So can you tell me one thing, only one thing, what is the difference between hierarchical network and relational database management system? Out of all these, what is the main difference you found? You guys left.
No, we are there. It's a table structure or the
Perfect.
proper.
Perfect. So that's the only difference. Just because it is in the form of table, we can retrieve the data fast. How? See, maybe in our school days, we might experience this one, right? Teacher asked us to maintain some mark sheet, right? How we are maintaining it? Name column and the subject one, like max, science, social, Telugu, Hindi, English, something like that. So in a table format we are maintaining and we are giving it to the teacher, right? Why you can maintain paragraph also, no? Why you are maintaining table there? Yes.
Easy to search and easy to retrieve. Exactly going
Perfect.
to the where exactly the column and row.
Exactly, correct answer. See, if you write in a paragraph, you need to read the paragraph, right? But if you mention, see, the same thing, if I mention it in a paragraph, what you will do? Customer ID with one, the name is Google and it is still inactive. So if I write like this, you should go and search, which will take 1 minute of time in, if it is in a paragraph. But like this, if I asked whether Apple is active or not, what you will say? It is inactive. How? Because see, with an eye, I can say here it is inactive. That's why it is inactive. Yes, because of that, only the relational database is ruling the world now. Okay, so yes, these are the columns and these are the rows. So probably these columns are also known as attributes and these rows are also known as tuple. Maybe some people call as tuple. I will call it as tuple. Okay, no worries, anything is fine. But most of the time, I am calling it as a records. Okay, try to habituate it, but no worries. Okay. So apart from that, don't think much about it. I will tell you each and everything about it. How the what's the primary key, what's the not null constraints, why it's called relation, something like that. Why relational database, the name comes into the picture, why it came, why don't we take some other name, that I will show you all practically. Okay, see which one is leading the world now. Of course, it's a relational database. So, to talk with that relational database, we use SQL. Getting? Take SQL language. See, you are able to understand the thing which I am telling you, right? Why you are able to understand? Because you know English, I know English, our medium of communication is English. You know Telugu, I know Tamil, we can't communicate each other. Correct? Similar kind of thing here also. Database knows only SQL, that too relational database. So you go to hierarchical and you start using SQL, you will not find anything. It will hit with an error. Okay. Relational database, that too it is in the form of table. If you want to communicate with the tabled data, you should use SQL. SQL is a language. What kind of language? Structured language. S stand for structured, Q stands for query, L stands for language. This is how SQL comes into the picture. Getting? What is SQL? That's the biggest doubt we have. So, we will try to understand this question for next 45 days. Bhavya, only what is SQL? No, no. We will try to understand in deep about these things. Okay, fine. So maybe you guys know previously about it. Maybe is that boring?
No,
No,
Bhavya.
Bhavya. No.
No, no, man.
So just call me Bhavya. That's fine. See, um, I just completed this thing in one class just because I don't want to waste your time as well as my time uh, on the basics itself. So that's why I have taken the class little speed. If you guys felt too fast, let me know. No worries in that. Okay, we will try to slow it down and we will move. Okay, so I'll share these two PPTs in the group. Just go through it and no need to look deep about it. Just know why SQL. That's it. Okay. From the tomorrow onwards, I would like to uh, suggest you to maintain one notes. Okay. Maybe for you it will be difficult to write each and everything. Maybe the document, anything is fine. Okay, so just because you will not get confused by the things. Of course you will have the recording, no worries in that, but maintain the notes, it will be fine.
Sure.
Okay.